Hour number 2 of the Rich Eisen Show from San Francisco, California. Super Bowl 50 week on the air. We've already had a great first hour. Derek Brooks, Jerome Bettis, Marcus Allen. And joining me here now in an hour where Drew Brees will also be joining me is the one and only College Football Hall of Famer and patriarch of the Manning family, Archie Manning. Good to see you,
Rich,
sir.
Always glad to see you and glad to be with you.
No, I appreciate it. The question everyone wants to know, do you think this is Cooper's last Super Bowl? Archie, do you think this could be Cooper's last Super Bowl?
No, Cooper's going to be around.
You think so?
Yeah. Cooper's not going anywhere.
He's playing that close to the vest.
He's coming into his own. He'll, as he always does, though, he'll sit down after the season and think about it and decide he'll continue.
You know, it's truly amazing how everybody is viewing Peyton's week here through the glasses of this is it. How about you, Archie?
Peyton has not mentioned it to me. He's not mentioned it. Last year after the season, Rich, he was hurt at the end of the year, and he came home. He stayed in New Orleans for almost a month. He worked with a guy named Mackie Shilstone, kind of did a body evaluation. Should he play some more? And Mackie thought he should. And of course, if you remember, even though the season didn't finish good for the Broncos and for Peyton last year, but about 2/3 into the season, he was playing at a high level, just like he had the year before, an MVP year. So I understood that he wanted to play some more, and he just wanted to get his health back. Now, one big thing was changing systems, and he knew that was going to be a transition, but he did want to.
He already knew at the time, basically, was that Kubiak was coming in, and that there would have to be some form of.
He knew that.
New trick for the old dog to learn,
but
essentially.
I think Peyton, he recognized his age, and he also felt like what he knew about Gary and Gary's system, that they'd always run the ball. And his thinking at age 39, I can run any offense as long as we can run the ball. And I think that's the biggest problem that the Broncos offense and Peyton had early in this season is that they couldn't run the ball. Now, their defense really did carry them, but they didn't run the ball very well. They actually kind of started running it pretty good once Brock got in. And but anyway, Peyton he's not talked to me about it. He'll do like he's always done. He'll sit down when all this is over, and he'll kind of put down the pros and the cons and how he feels. I think he'll talk to me about it. He usually does. He'll make a good decision. He always has.
Look, Archie, obviously private conversations and family conversations are that. But what is it like during a season? Certainly like this one. This is unlike any season for Peyton.
No, he's never had a season. Peyton's been so fortunate, Rich, other than the year that he missed the entire year after he had 4 surgeries. And that wasn't, he was injured, but that wasn't like so many players go through with nagging injuries. Peyton's had injuries, but he's always been able to play. He's never missed time, ever. And so this one was different. Yeah, they were struggling. They couldn't run the ball very well. And usually when you don't run, you don't protect too well. That wasn't going great, but the defense was keeping them in games. Peyton did have they had some good fourth quarter drives in some of those games that kind of got them a win. They were close games. But then the foot just started bothering him. He's always played through those things. I think the one game that was, so bad, Gary even said I shouldn't have played him. And Peyton knows, he told me that night, he said I shouldn't have gone out there, but he always has. So, but to sit down, and that was new to him, not to be playing. Then to fight his way back, start feeling a little better, and work with be the quarterback for the scout team.
Right. Well, that was going on. We in the national media were wondering if this was a benching, right? That the injury really was something, obviously, but maybe the Broncos wanted to already make the transition to Brock Osweiler in the middle of everything. The Al Jazeera report comes out, questions his integrity. Did he ever call you up and just say, Dad, I don't...
Yeah, we talked about a few things, but he didn't get really... He was mad about that, so he wasn't... the injury thing frustrated him. But he said, I don't know anything to do but try to work through it and just listen to the trainers and doctors, try to get this thing well, try to stay sharp. I want to try to get back on the field. that thing was just that's kind of a little hiccup there that made him mad, but you move on. He addressed it, and I think it was pretty shabby journalism in my opinion. So he moved on from that. But I didn't know either. I don't think we all did. I thought Brock did a great job. I thought he was playing really well, and I certainly think anybody we understood if it's probably going to be his job next year and hopefully for many years, and you just stay with that. But he did get back in uniform and got on the sidelines, and Gary chose to put him into a game that was pretty crucial to the Broncos, and it didn't look good. And by winning that game, it was pretty big for him to be a number one instead of a number 5. Most people will tell you.
No doubt they might not be here right now.
So I think he felt good about that contribution and the fact they've been able to win 2 games since. So you never know. It's football. You just never know about football.
Archie Manning here on the Rich Eisen Show. You're representing Papa John's. We'll be talking about that in a moment. Word is that the LA Rams might be interested in hiring Peyton next year. What are your thoughts on that, Archie?
I'm just going to wait, and when Peyton gets ready to talk about it, it's Peyton has to. This is hard. I remember when I went through this. I remember when a lot of players, you love to play, and but you want to play with good health. So I guess he looks at it now 2 years now that he's had nagging injuries, and that happens. It's hard. Things just don't work as good when you're 39 as they do when you're 29. But I think Peyton's pretty smart, and he'll lay all these things out and he'll make a good decision.
Well, when Peyton was going through his free agent decision, going from Indianapolis onward, the word was that he would never choose an NFC team because Eli's in that conference. Is that true?
Well, he never said that, but I think it's a factor. Now that was 4 years ago. That's 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So you don't know what at that time. Well, I just think Denver was really attractive to him, but he had a hard time with it, Rich. Because he said it was kind of like being back in college. Everybody sounded good. Everyone sounded good.
Sure, but he didn't want to prevent his own brother from going to the Super Bowl. That if they ever matched up in that,
I don't think he really wanted to play against Eli. Twice. I mean, he was close with Mike Shanahan, but I don't think he wanted to play against Eli twice a year.
Right.
Maybe did he want to go against the Colts twice a year? I mean, he had some options out there.
Oh yeah.
And Denver was a good option. I think he made a pretty good decision.
Oh no, I'm not saying that I'm just wondering if any NFC team, if he does choose to play, would just be off the table because Eli's still sitting there in New York, where obviously Tom Coughlin is no longer there, and a lot of people noticed Eli's reaction to that, where Tom basically said, "It's not your fault." Got all choked up. What was that from your perspective, Archie?
As a parent, I was proud of Eli because he was emotional about his coach. And I told Eli how fortunate he was to spend 12 years with one coach, but also that one coach being Tom Coughlin, a good man, a really good man and a great coach. And they had a special relationship. They kind of started that together, started with the Giants together, Eli's first year and the growing pains, and how Tom stood by Eli through some tough time. I remember before they went to their first Super Bowl, a point during that year, Rich, I wasn't sure who they were going to run out of New York first, Tom or Eli. I mean, and they wound up winning the Super Bowl that year. So they went through a lot together, and the fact that he was emotional, it was sincere, and I think a lot of the Giants felt like they underachieved, or they win so many ball games that they just couldn't pull out. And I went through it a lot. You hate to see your coach get fired. That's a really tough part of football. So Eli's been very fortunate.
Yeah. So what do you think about Eli's end game? I mean, he's in his mid-30s now. All of a sudden, you and I were talking before we're on the air. He's got 3 little kids now. I mean,
he's got 3 little.
He's getting up there too.
Little girls, yeah.
How is Eli viewing the next 2-3 years?
Well, I said he was sad about Tom Coughlin leaving. Now he's been with Ben McAdoo the last 2 years, and Eli's game has been pretty good. He's adjusted to what Ben does and has been productive. They just need to win more games, and he wants to do that. So he's, knock on wood, Eli's been fortunate, never missed much time. He takes good care of himself. He's looking forward to the future and playing a lot more.
So
football.
he likes McAdoo.
Yes, he does.
He does.
Yes, he does.
And
he likes what they do, and he loves that offense.
Well, I mean, also that number 13 out
13's
there.
not bad. No,
13 is really, really good.
Yeah, they need to. They've had injuries at the tight end position. Miss Victor Cruz, my goodness. We'd love to get Victor back on the field as a compliment to Odell. They'd like to run it a little better, like all teams.
What's it like for you and Olivia to be watching your sons play an NFL
We
game?
sometimes kind of pinch ourselves, Rich. I didn't think about it early in the week. A reporter in New Orleans says, out of the last 10 Super Bowls, you've had a son playing in 6 of them, and I didn't think about that. And it's been 10 years since the Colts won. Next year will be 10 years since they won their Super Bowl. But yeah, Peyton's been fortunate to go. Eli and them have won a couple. So as a parent, you just try. I always tell my kids to enjoy the journey. And I think as parents, we're trying to do that too. We know we're blessed. I've got a lot of friends. I've got some good friends who are fathers of NFL quarterbacks. And not only do I think about some quarterbacks who need to have this experience because they're good players and they deserve it. I had dinner with Matt Ryan last night. He deserves this, and he'll get there. But I know his dad, and his dad deserves it too.
Sure.
Matthew Stafford's a great player, in my opinion. His dad's a good friend of mine.
Obviously, you know Oliver too.
Oh,
Oliver Luck.
Yeah.
You go way back.
I heard from Ollie yesterday. So yeah, I think about. I've studied quarterbacks all my life, so I think about quarterbacks and the opportunities they have. But and knowing their dads, I think about them too. So Livy and I have truly been blessed, and we are enjoying the journey.
We've noticed sometimes you can't look though, right?
No, I just in my old age, I'm getting more and more superstitious. I'm trying to find that lucky spot in the stadium or in the box or wherever. I don't know what it is. You ought to see Livy and I at home. We change seats, change TVs, look for.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's a zoo. Yeah.
We have a prop bet on our show here that the number of times that we're going to see a member of your family during the Super Bowl telecast is 4.5 times. Would you take the over or under on that?
Probably depends how the game's going, So I'm gonna see. Maybe things are going good. They'll do it more, so I'll take the over.
Yeah,
Not that I want to be on there.
No, I know that.
And I never. No, they catch me off guard. But,
yeah.
It's.
Do you ever think like I can't eat that hot dog or that popcorn because I don't want to be caught?
I can't eat anything. I can't eat anything. No.
So make sure, and that's a perfect way, I guess, to segue into the Papa John's. That starting Monday after the Super Bowl, the official pizza sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 50 launch its quality guarantee. What is that, Archie?
Basically, if you order a Papa John's pizza and you don't like it, you tell them why you don't like it, and they'll give you another pizza free.
Free.
Quality. Papa John's has always been about quality.
Sure.
We know that's the gold standard for better ingredients. So this is the quality guarantee. Also, 50-cent pizza. I guess you had to be living in a cave the last few weeks if you hadn't seen JJ and Peyton and Joe I had dinner with Joe last night. I'm not name dropping today, but he didn't have on the khakis with the quarter.
No, he didn't.
He didn't have them on.
Joe Montana, man, he's coming up later on in the show. I can't wait to see him. 5 toppings for just $9.99. You get 1 large pizza after Super Bowl 50. That's starting Monday. Archie, sir, you are the best. I met you the first time. I think after the first Super Bowl I covered in Houston, if you recall that night, where
Eli had the karaoke going.
Eli had the karaoke going. Yeah. We were I believe we were in the Gatorade suite.
We were. You're still with Gatorade.
You're still in that suite. And your whole family came in, and Eli and I sang karaoke that night.
Yes, remember it well.
And you did say at that time that I could be an honorary 4th Manning son. And
we've still got that under consideration. Eli, Cooper has final say.
Cooper has final say?
But I'm also very indebted to you and appreciate your friendship. You were nice enough in in New Orleans to MC the Pat Summerall
For St. Jude.
award that
That you
was fortunate
got.
to
That was an
win.
incredible night,
And
seeing your family.
We appreciate you doing that.
Please, you're the best. Say hi to Olivia and everybody else. Thank you for coming on today, Archie.
My pleasure,
And
Rich.
enjoy Super Bowl 50. Enjoy
try
it.
to breathe.
Archie.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.